Clark Air Force Base at Manila is part of one of our most important defense perimeters in the Pacific. And there, Hope's troopers confronted the 405th Fighter Wing of the 13th Air Force.
Now, we had a wonderful trip over here, I want to tell you that, considering the plane they gave us. It took off from a kneeling position. We're flying in a BC-135. That's not the model number, that's a year. It's one of the earlier jets. Instead of afterburners, has an oven and a bag of charcoal. Belonged to a 4-star general, Pershing. But it was a fun trip. Every 10 minutes we had community prayer. Now, Mats gave us their most experienced pilot. He got 25,000 miles of airtime, many of them in the plane. He was great when we left Los Angeles. After we'd been flying about 5 hours, he stuck his head in the cabin and said, "What's all that water down there?" I said, "That's the Pacific." He turned to the co-pilot and said, "See, you owe me $10. But I didn't say anything. I never argued 40,000 feet with a guy who's got the key to the washroom. Now, this was about the 100th flight I made across the Pacific, and Mats made quite a ceremony out of it. They bronzed my box lunch. And you know, it tasted better that way. We're happy to be here. It's my obligation, I think, to spend 3 weeks traveling with Janice, Jill, Anna Maria, Anita, and Miss World. Please, please. No applause. I know you do the same for me. And we got all our shots, some of them we didn't need. No kidding. I got 5 more shots than they have diseases for. This year, they combine the shots into one neat package. And when they take the needle out, you got a handy place to keep cigars. My doctor uses a needle the size of a harpoon. I don't mind that, but I wish she'd quit hollering, "There she blows!" I got so many holes in me from the rear, I look like a Russian peace treaty. We always have the same trouble with Kelowna. The medics can't figure out which end the shots go in.
Okinawa, and Bob finds the 3rd Marine Division anxious to loosen up those laugh muscles.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Okinawa, a lush tropical island in the beautiful blue Pacific. Land of enchantment, land of happiness, land of contentment. Did you get the feeling our cabin was overpressurized? Now, Okinawa is known as the Pearl of the Orient. That's because after 3 months, you're ready to string yourself up. You should see this base. It's a prisoner of war camp for our side. I want to say one thing. Okinawa is a beautiful island. It has thousands of men and very few women. The island's not known for its wildlife. But we're happy to be here. We arrived between rainy seasons. It ended this morning. It doesn't start again until tonight. It does occasionally get a little damp here. I stepped off the plane and disappeared. Now, these guys here have seen quite a bit of action. Last weekend, a whole platoon went to Naha without losing a man. Isn't that great? What are we going to dock? What the hell is that? Today, we're working for one of the toughest marine outfits in the world. It's the only place I know where the snakes wear helmets. The Marines' motto is Semper Fidelis, which means, I was only kidding, pick up your teeth and let's be friends. These are amphibious Marines, as any local bartender can tell you. These men are perfectly at home on land or sea. They don't care whether they're swimming or walking, as long as it's toward a girl. We didn't intend to stop here, but we're on our way to Vietnam, and some chicken was dragging his feet. I hope the PX has my size shoes.
Christmas Day, 1964. And there's a special gift-wrapped present for the flight detachment at Tan Son Nhut, Vietnam. A very pretty package named Jill St. John.
Roll cameras. Target.
The head cinematographer just using the clapper? K8. Ooh! Here's a gal who in the last couple of years has become Hollywood's brightest young star. A rare combination of beauty, brains, and talent. The nicest thing I could bring you, Miss Jill St. John, right here. Looks like a big blonde Christmas tree. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Bob. That's a lovely introduction. But what did you have to mention my brain for?
Well, don't worry. They'll never notice it. You really have an IQ of 162? That's a coincidence because that's my golf score. No, that's pretty high for a girl, isn't it?
Oh, being a girl doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't? Should we tell her? 162, that makes you a genius, doesn't it?
Oh, that's what they say.
Well, that's good. These guys have a question that only a genius can answer.
Really?
Yeah, what are they doing here? But I know, honey, that you're getting a thrill out of the reception you receive. How do you feel about working out in front of all these guys?
Well, now I know how Clyde Beatty feels when he drops his chair.
You can relax. They've been fed. Say, how are you enjoying the trip so far?
Well, it's all so exciting. I don't know what to look at first.
Well, these guys are having the same problem.
This is a very important base, isn't it, Bob?
Yes, it is important. Why? What makes you ask?
Well, the MP searched me 12 times today. What do you suppose they were looking for?
Well, I can't imagine. You certainly aren't hiding anything.
Well, that's what I told them.
And what happened?
They searched me again.
Well, some of them are a little overtrained, I must admit.
Well, they're awfully nice boys, but I can't understand why they haven't shown me any of the installations here.
Well, they're too busy looking at yours right now. They'll get around all that. But you know, Jill, I'm thrilled because in your last 3 pictures, you appeared with the world's swingin'est cats, Robert Goulet, Frank Sinatra, and Dean Martin, and now you're with me.
Well, I needed a rest.
She's like the Kong. 1 minute smiling, the next minute she's got a hand grenade in your pocket. Tell us about your career, Jill. How did you get started?
Well, my first job was in radio when I was only 5 years old. I played one of the many children on a show called One Man's Family.
Oh, I remember that show. They were doing Bing's Life and didn't know it. For you younger fellows, One Man's Family was sort of a Saratan Peyton Place. And when did you do your first TV show?
Oh, I was a little girl. That was way back in 1948.
1948. Wagon train hadn't left New York yet. And these fellas had just arrived here on temporary duty.
What were you doing when you were 5 years old, Bob?
Trying to get to 6. My mother hadn't cut off my curls. I'd never have made it.
Well, when did you start acting?
Judging by the critics, I haven't yet.
Well, I think you're a great artist. You've got talent you haven't found yet.
I have, huh? Well, don't just stand there. Help me look. Jill, one thing puzzles me about you. How is it a bright young girl like you is always playing dumb redheads in the movies? Isn't it ridiculous?
Well, you're still playing romantic leads, aren't you?
Funny, when she throws you curves, she doesn't miss it. No, I think it's wonderful to have you, and I want to give you all the attention that you desire. And if you,
Thank you, I think.
one meaning to a joke. how about me taking you home after the show?
My mother warned me about you.
Your mother warned you about me? What does your mother know about me?
You took her home once.
I started very young, you know.
You know, last night the most terrible thing happened.
Well, congratulations.
Bob. About 4 o'clock in the morning, a man knocked on my door and wouldn't stop. And he came back 5 times.
6.
On Guam, the 3rd Air Force and Navy Division watched and waited, and it paid off.
Thank you, tourists. All you Guam maniacs. I'm happy to be here on this mid-Pacific divot. You've heard of Hawaii, paradise of the islands. This is Guam, fly speck of the Pacific. I think this whole island has gone Hollywood. Since our cast arrived, I got off the plane and saw a lizard wearing sunglasses. No, but I'm happy to set foot on this island. I thought we were ditching. You know, it's funny. From up at 30,000 feet, Guam is just a little blip on the radar screen. But when you get down here, it's really not that important. I asked the pilot if we'd have a little trouble finding a little island like Guam, and he said, oh, no, we have sonar, radar, and we can follow the empty beer cans in with the tide. I'm happy to be here in this jungle paradise where the 2 major sports are typhoon ducking and fungus training. Now, the expression Guam is good was invented by a GI here. I'd like to congratulate him, but a psychiatrist won't let him have visitors. Oh, it's a beautiful sight. But Guam is very strategic. That's a Pentagon term, meaning keep them there till we figure out what to do with them. It's true, Japanese soldiers still show up here occasionally. They come here to get new batteries for their American transistors. This is our last stop on our way home. Actually, it wasn't even scheduled, but we had to make an emergency landing. The band lost its toothbrush. And I bring you news from Vietnam. Stay here. But I just want to tell you, I look forward to these annual trips. It gives me a chance to meet the guys who are doing so much for our country, and it gives you a chance to meet a guy who's glad you're doing it. Thank you very much.
At Da Nang in Vietnam, Jerry Colonna helped the GIs of the 23rd Airborne Group forget the war for a while.
One of the things that has impressed me most on this tour are the dedicated people like yourselves who have had the courage to, hey, wait a minute, back up there. What is that, a tree?
Shh! You'll wake up the termites.
I've never seen a tree with a mustache before. Why are you wearing that ridiculous outfit?
Supply sergeant drinks. Actually, I'm an instructor in guerrilla warfare.
Oh, that's rough. Where'd you learn to fight dirty?
Been married 15 years.
Well, tell me, Fuzzface, how did you get to be a guerrilla fighter?
I volunteered. It's a lot safer than my last job.
Yeah, what was that?
Driving a cab in Saigon.
I fool to ask, but does it take much to be a guerrilla fighter?
No, just you and a mean gorilla.
I'd like to see what goes on in your head.
Okay, but no smoking.
Why don't you go back in the jungle and draw a little sniper fire?
I don't have to. Last night for 3 solid hours, I was face to face with a Kong.
Viet Cong?
No, King Kong. He was on the Late Late Show.
You know, Professor, you haven't changed an iota.
Can't help it, my laundry is late. Hey, by the way, Hope, how much longer are you going to be on there?
Oh, about 5 minutes. Why?
Oh, I got to get out of here.
Well, wait, what's the hurry?
I want to beat the rush, the sick call.
Now, Trong is not Brooklyn or Kansas City or San Francisco, but for a little while, the men of the 1st Special Forces and 5th Special Forces could have been mistaken.
Warriors from the Trong would like to present to you, your troop and your crew, the Warriors from Hollywood. VC machine gun.
VC machine gun. It's a little late, Colonel. We're almost finished, you know. Maybe we could sell this to the next unit. I can't, to just point it down here. I can't see where your other hand is. No, I just think it's wonderful, and, just coming here is reward enough just to get here, and we're very thrilled at the chance to see all you guys are doing this wonderful job down here. And we wish you a great, great holiday season.
Lovely Anita Bryant wanted to look at the 23rd Airborne Group at Da Nang. She looked, and they looked back. They won the looking contest.
I've never seen MPs wear lipstick before. How about that? That was rough duty, wasn't it? I want to tell you, that was just great, Anita.
Oh, thank you, Bob.
You have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thanks again.
Beautiful face, beautiful figure. What's a girl like you doing in show business?
Oh, I couldn't think of anything better to do.
Good girl.
Tall, handsome, loaded with talent.
Take your time.
What's a fellow like you doing in show business?
Oh, I don't know, but you've made my day. Anita, this is your 5th trip with me, isn't it?
Yes, this is number 5.
What makes you keep coming back year after year?
Oh, because you're adorable, you're charming, and you're utterly irresistible.
There you are, folks, another unsolicited testimonial.
And if you don't believe him, there it is, right on the idiot card.
You fat girl. You're gonna love flying home by bus.
No, Bob, I make these tours with you because I feel I'm accomplishing something. I feel like I'm sharing the holiday with a lot of good friends. Well, how about you? How come you make these trips?
Well, it takes me my mind off my real racket, golf.
Oh, you're joking, Bob. These trips are rough. I mean, you sure have amazing stamina for a man of 42.
Bless you. But quit right there. The way you're going, you'll have me drafted. How did you get started in show business, Anita?
Well, I won a beauty contest. Isn't that the usual way?
Well, it's not how I got started.
Well, then an agent got interested in me.
That didn't happen to me.
He promised me everything under the sun.
That neither.
And all the time, he just wanted to marry me.
Really?
Well, I suppose you had a lot of trouble getting your first break, too.
No, my agent was already married. But, Anita, I couldn't think of anyone I'd rather see on these trips, and I hope you'll be back next year entertaining the troops.
Well, what about you? Aren't you coming?
I'm staying home and having them delivered. Thank you very much.
Tan Son Nhut, Vietnam, Lieutenant General William Westmoreland, head of all our forces in Vietnam, took time out to pay the whole gang a tribute.
Give me great pleasure to present this time General W.C. Westmoreland.
Oh, wonderful.
Welcome.
Welcome yourself. Mr. Hope, first I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
I bet you've never had one like it quite before.
I don't think there's ever been a war like this before.
Well, I don't think we've had a Christmas quite like this before, and certainly it's been made more enjoyable under these difficult circumstances by your presence. I would like to thank you and your associates for your presence and for a very wonderful show. And finally, Mr. Hope, I would like to present you a small token of our appreciation in the form of a plaque which reads as follows. This is from the United States Military Assistance Command, Vietnam, 1964. Presented to Bob Hope in sincere appreciation for his services to the U.S. forces in Vietnam. Thanks for the memories.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. General, thank you. That's about as nice a trophy as I've ever received, but I must share this with every one of these people here, because without these people, we couldn't do a show, and this kind of a show, and these great gals and all these great artists, these great stars that stand here, all of them.
Why do they do it? Why do they travel thousands of miles to remote places to entertain our GIs overseas? The Hope show business troopers, armed with their talent and wit, don't want any profound analysis. All they ask is another plane schedule that works at least part of the time. They know the need is there. They know that the big show must go on, and when it does, where it does, so do they. And that's the magic of Hope. Bob, that is.